Hey, YouTube friends. I just wanted to let you know that for the first time ever, my friends over at Transistor.fm are having a sale. A Black Friday sale that extends beyond, of course. So here's the quick version. If you sign up for one of their annual plans, you'll get 20% off your price for the full year. One way of looking at this is if you've been thinking of starting a podcast, this is a great way to get yourself a little bit of runway. Say 2.5 months almost. If you do 12 months, 20% off, that gives you 2 and a bit months, effectively free podcast hosting. So it's a great way to sort of start out a podcast without worrying about having to be paying for it right away. Click the link in the description below or follow the link on the screen here if you want to type it out manually. The pricing works until 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, November 30th, 2021. And yes, I get some affiliate credit for sending you over to Transistor, of course. That's not really why I'm doing it, though. The reason why I'm doing this is, as you may know, I run a business editing podcast called Lemon Productions, hence the lemons over there. And honestly, one of the biggest barriers for a lot of folks who are thinking of starting a podcast is paying for hosting. Now, free podcast hosts come and go, but in order to level up your podcast, you kind of want to pay for hosting that you know is going to be around. Plus, you get some great features that I'll talk about in a minute here with Transistor. So if you're really serious about podcast hosting, or even somewhat serious about podcast and podcast hosting, I'd really encourage you to check out Transistor's deal. Also, if you've got a podcast hosted elsewhere, maybe you already have a successful podcast somewhere else that you're paying for hosting, you can get the awesome pricing as well. The great folks at Transistor will help you move your podcast over for free and then get you all set up on their new plan. Or for that matter, if you're an existing Transistor customer, you're paying monthly maybe right now, you can upgrade to an annual payment and get this great deal. Wait a second. I'm a paying Transistor customer. I should maybe get in on this. Here's a few reasons to check out Transistor for all your podcast hosting needs. I just realized I don't really need to have my headphones on because I'm not editing the podcast right now. Force of habit. The biggest reason I like recommending Transistor to anybody when they're starting a podcast is because you can host multiple podcasts for that one price. Some other podcast hosts, many of them actually, if you're adding a new podcast to your account, you pay an extra monthly fee each time you add a new podcast. So it kind of creates a bit of a financial mental barrier to just trying out a new podcast idea. So if you've got maybe a podcast idea with a friend you want to try out, no big deal. Just add it to your Transistor account and maybe you split your annual fee with your friend who wants to do 10 episodes of a podcast series about stormtroopers or whatever. With one price, you can host unlimited podcasts on Transistor. Second reason is they've got 24/7 live customer support. No zombies on their support team. All 100% live human beings. And they're responsive, kind, and really smart to boot. I don't know what you're talking about. Transistor's also got awesome analytics that tell you exactly what you need to know without a whole bunch of extra information that makes it really confusing to look at. So for example, my podcast I do with a friend, 25 cents, or video game podcast, our analytics page gives us the average for 7 days, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, information that's kind of handy for sponsors sometimes. Their best guess at how many subscribers you have based on your RSS feed. We've got a whopping 14, so I know what I'm talking about here. And of course, you can check your trends, so all time, past 90 days, 30 days, etc. And then check out per episode stats. So I can see, for example, that me playing Hades and Nick playing Fortnite does not perform as well as Breath of the Wild and IKEA Recap. So might take that into account for future episodes. And of course, you can see which podcast players are most popular with your podcast listening audience. Just kind of interesting to know, and maybe how you spend your advertising dollars if you're going to market your own podcast. So our podcast, for example, mostly in the States, some France, bonjour, United Kingdom, Canada, I'm not going to keep doing accents, Australia, etc. You can see that breakdown by country, breakdown by device, breakdown by operating system, and just kind of gives you an idea of who's out there without getting into really scammy, sleazy analytics that I don't really want to be collecting among my listeners. They also take all the work out of distributing your podcast, so I can, with a few clicks, have the podcast going out to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon, Podcast Addict, Deezer, Breaker, Player FM, Listen Notes, all these places that you might not have even known existed for your podcast to be on, and they can help you get it set up right away with a few clicks. One thing you can also do with Transistor is create private podcasts. So if you've got a special podcast that you want to make, maybe just for that special someone, hi mom, this is my podcast just for you. Hope you're having a nice time on the beach with dad while we're stuck in the snow and ice of winter. Bye. Or maybe you want to create an internal podcast just for your company or clients. You can do that right on Transistor. One of the newest things Transistor has added is something called dynamic audio insertion, which is a fancy way of saying, add some audio to the beginning or the end of my podcast that I've already published for me automatically. So why would you care about dynamic audio insertion, or DAI as the pros call it? I'm not. Let's say your podcast is rolling along with 10 episodes, or in my case, I've got 43 episodes here, and a sponsor comes along who wants to throw money at you to advertise on your podcast. Normally you'd say, sure, let's work out a deal for the next 30 episodes at $300 an episode or whatever. Not these stats, but in theory. With dynamic audio insertion, you can also offer to add them to your existing episodes. So you can create a campaign, you can create inventory from your advertiser, create an ad for them, the audio here, and then create a new campaign around that where you name your $300 ad campaign, put your audio either at the beginning or the end, or in mid-roll. Actually, it looks like they're adding post-roll. And then you get a preview. You can add some more show notes to your show notes if you want at the beginning or the end, and then create that. And then it'll actually automatically go and add either at the beginning, the middle, or end those ads to your podcasts. So without a lot of work for yourself, you can see a few clicks here, but without a lot of extra work of having to re-edit, re-upload all those audio files, you can dynamically add ads or other audio. It doesn't have to be advertising. It could be just like, hey, I've got a new free video on my YouTube channel, for example, that I could add to my existing podcast, just to let people know for a little while, for as long as I want to run that campaign, that there's something new happening if they're listening to the podcast, whatever episode it happens to be that they download and listen to. So that's my pitch for you to check out Transistor. I really, really like using them. I'm a paying customer myself, as you can see, with my podcast network. And then I have a lot of my clients who, if they ask, that's who I recommend. And so, because if I'm having to use them, or my clients are having to use them, for example, on a daily or weekly or monthly basis, I want to know that they're going to be supported, because I'm the idiot who recommended them to go to Transistor if they didn't. And so I have no problem recommending Transistor as a podcast host. And especially for the reasons I outlined in this video, I really encourage you to check them out. Transistor.fm/Black Friday. And if you do a little question mark, VIA equals Chris, you can give me some credit for it, or just click the link down below. It's probably easier than trying to keep up with my mumbo jumbo link information there. In the meantime, hope you're having a great day wherever you happen to be. And I'll be back again with some more audio and video tutorial issues on the Mac and iPhone and the internet. Thanks for watching. Bye.